Yeah, yeah, bro. You already know what I'm gonna say. We need 100K likes. It is weird to like and not sub, bro. Don't be weird. Don't be weird. You already know, bro. Let's go.
The secret. The secret.
Hey, we're reacting to how women use physical intimacy to trap good men into marriage. How women use physical intimacy to trap good men into marriage. Can you? Oh, let's listen because this sounds interesting.
I'm going to preempt one of the tweets we'll share
Yo,
with you a
yo,
little
yo,
bit
yo,
later
what
on.
happened?
And
The secret.
There you go.
The secret we never wanted revealed as women is that as women, we have a switch, like a light switch with sex, and it is either off or it is on. And we all know we have this switch and that we have the capacity and the choice to turn it on and off when we want to. And as women, when we were single, we had the switch on for bad boys and we had the switch off for good men until we were ready to settle down and get married and start a family. And so good men can know if you struggled to get women when you were younger and before you were married, or if you're watching and you're single, this will shed some light for you too. If you didn't have a lot of women until you met your wife, it's because she had her switched off. And then when she was ready to settle down, she turned it on and she used the on switch with sex to trap you to get what she wanted, which was to get married. And so when we're ready to get married, our biological clock is ticking. We get a good man and we enjoy sex. We want to have plenty of sex. And then we get what we want. We get married and the sex stops.
Hey guys, it's your girl Melanie, and I'm back again with another commentary on Happy Wife School. I spoke on this before. This is intuitive to me, just like seeing how women behave, and that they, sex is just given away. Like I honestly, I say this all the time, that modern dating, that the Western woman is now basically a lady of the night for Chad and Tyrone. And I've yet to be proven incorrect about this. When women are finally wanting the nice guy, the good guy, and you're getting sex from her, it is because she's hit the wall, her clock, or she's approaching the wall. She's ready to settle down. Her feelings have been hurt by Chad and Tyrone too much. She's tired of getting ran through. But make no mistake, that is just a bait and switch. And this is why a lot of men see sex diminish in their marriage. Now, it's not always the case. I will say that. It's not always the case that she was super promiscuous and that you were just, the Mr. Nice Guy to come clean it up. That's not always the case, because there's even some guys who are like Chads or Tyrones or bad boys who have gotten married. I've done counseling sessions with them. That they actually got married and then the woman switches on them. I think overall, women they think sex is just to get a man. It's for when they want to have fun when they're single. But now that you have him, well, he doesn't need that anymore. He loves me. And women trade those two out. But anyway, let's continue with this.
And the sex becomes unimportant. And like I said, it becomes infrequent. And all of a sudden, the amount of sex you were having before you got married begins to dwindle and dwindle and dwindle. Because it was a trap. It was a trap to get what we wanted. My mentor.
Let me just say this really quickly. Now, I do not believe women consciously know this. I don't believe women operate on a high enough state of consciousness or even their IQ levels, so the average woman cannot even work this out. It's like they're on auto behavior, and they've been programmed by Western society, by feminism, by the sexual liberation that this is okay. This isn't how women naturally are. This is not who a feminine woman is in her true natural state untouched, unscathed, unpoisoned by feminism behaves. But this is what has become the Western woman. This is what's become her programming. So are there some women who do it consciously? Yes, there could be, but I think it's unconscious. And this is how narcissistic it show. I keep saying the modern Western woman is narcissistic. I don't know if she's going to be NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, diagnosed, but the narcissism is like she doesn't even think of reason why she's not conscious of. She doesn't even think what's best for the man or what the man could want or how can I develop this relationship. It's a means to an end. It's whatever it takes to get what she wants. So there is a level of consciousness, but not to the degree that the modern Western woman is just not that smart, guys. They just aren't, in my opinion.
Shared with me what he calls the penny analogy. That if you put a penny in a jar for every time you had sex before you got married, and then you took a penny after you got married, you took a penny out for every time you have sex once you're married, you would never empty the jar. And that's the sad reality of sex with your wife, is that she used sex to get married. And once she trapped you, there was no reason for sex anymore. The sad fact is that
Sorry, not just to trap you, but the other reason for sex is when she wants to try for children, when she wants to have a baby. Then you're going to see that sex drive go up. But again, it's an ends to mean to what she wants, what she can get out of it. And then she kills her sex drive towards you. She may have, this is why you see the market for toys for women exploding. And why a lot of women are actually addicted or use porn and toys to pleasure themselves rather than be intimate with their husband. There's a reason why the toy industry is a $1 billion market. And it's not because it's all these toys for men. Now we're going to see that the robots explode, to get rid of these worthless Western women who have friend zoned their husbands into sexless marriages. But right now, this is where they're seeing the majority of women. It's about self-pleasure, self-indulgence. It's about that. And they have the nerve to be mad at their husband because he's watching porn. Meanwhile, she could care less about his sexual needs and want him to just suffer in silence because he loves her. Get out of here.
good man, or after a woman marries a good man, all he's good for is being a sperm donor and for financial security. And all the facade of being into you, of being passionate about you, of loving you and can't wait to get together to be with you, that facade drops because we got what we wanted. And for most of us as women, when we become disinterested in sex and we stop having sex, we will hold on enough to string you along. So that's where we'll have sex once a month or twice a month, and we'll string you along for that financial security and or for...
Let me just say, if even that, there's a lot of men who have gone months and months and even years. I have stories of men, telling me they've got one man over 2 decades without any sex with his wife. Now, granted, they're older now, but it started with, the slowdown. And then once he's completely trapped after years of marriage, and it's a slow burn of castration for married men. And they learn to just kind of live in it, because a lot of these men, they're not divorcing or they're being loyal to their wives because these are good men. These are strong men. These are men who believe in their vows, for better or for worse. These are men who are loyal. They're going to stand by their woman for, through the good and the bad, even though they say men are disloyal, men cheat, men are this way and men are that way. I see men are loyal to a fault. Men will die on a hill for what they believe in, and to stick to their word and to stay with what they said, especially men of character and honor and integrity. And the majority of men are that way. No matter what you're hearing, that is what I've seen. Just look at how loyal men are to their sports teams. Women will jump from team to team like, I'm that way. So they would jump who's the best lately. But men will pick a team when they're young and just die on that hill. And I can never understand. I'm like, why don't you just switch teams? They're not good anymore. They haven't been good in 30 years. Please just switch, and then you could be happy. But they will stay in frustration trying to fix it because what men are problem solvers. And if they can't solve the problem, a lot of times they would get stuck in something. Are there some men who step outside of their marriage because in these situations? Yes. But I actually don't fault them. I don't blame them. The wife left the marriage first. Just because it's not legal or it's not on paper, this woman is not fulfilled her duty as a wife. And it is akin to abandoning the marriage and abandoning that man. So it is what it is, sis. You can't get mad.
Having children. And that was sadly my experience, that when my husband and I met, sex was great. I had plenty of it. I enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. We had fun together. And then once I knew I had him, the switch turned off. I put walls up. I didn't want to get undressed around him anymore. If he came in and he tried to hug me, I would jerk away. And I had all kinds of stories built up about why I was doing this. I denied to myself the real reasons why, which is what most of us as women do. And there was nothing he was going to be able to do to turn that switch back on. And I didn't withdraw it or withhold it completely, but we would have it maybe every other week. And women listening who are open-minded and want to know these things for yourself, you'll know that we have this mental calendar where it's like, okay, I had it. And then we are like, okay, that'll probably buy me a week or two. And then that time starts running out and we start.
Whoa. That shit is a troll, my nigga. That shit is a troll, my nigga. Oh, get me up out of there. Oh. You can't be a troll, man. You're here.
Building this anxiety of when we're going to need to engage with sex again, to give just enough to make it seem okay and just enough to keep getting what we want. But by that point, our switch is off and the switch never goes back on. And we let our stories and our games begin of why we don't want to have sex anymore. And the sad part is that a good man falls for all those stories and all those excuses of why we don't want to have sex anymore. And I had a myriad of them. And it's fascinating how those stories begin, where in the beginning, we're having fun, we enjoy it. It's not an issue in the beginning.
Cousin, what do you do then? What do you do then, my nigga? Damn.
Of the relationship. And then all of a sudden it's my past with men before I met you, or it was my relationship with my dad, or I have really low self-esteem and I don't really know what I like, and just all these stories start coming up out of nowhere. And the sad part is, because good men want to believe their wives, they see the good in us, is then they fall for these stories, or the story of, well, I've changed and I need you to meet me in a different place now. I need you to start doing this technique or that technique, or can we read this book together? I've changed and I need sex to look different now. And good men will fall for that. That's where I went. And I've shared a little bit about that in the last couple of videos, where I had my husband reading all these books with me. We went to couples counseling and I made it this giant ordeal in our relationship. And it was really confusing to him. And he would try to do all the things because he's a good man. And that's what you do. Tell me what to do. I'll do it. So he tried to do the different things that I said that I needed. And you'll see women in comments of some of these videos from other men telling men, here's what you need to do to get your wife to re-engage with sex, and turn your game back on, and you gotta, and all these things. And women will comment on the videos like, yes, I wish my husband knew this. But the truth is, and we all know it, ladies, is that if they do those things, it still doesn't make us happy, and we're still pointing the finger and you're not doing it right. And well, I didn't mean it like that. And well, no, maybe that's not what I want.
As I will actually say, I think the heart of it is going to be familiarity breeds contempt. And this is why I say men are across the board more honorable, loyal, and better than women. And especially you see this in marriage, because what did she say? Her husband was trying everything to make it work. He would listen. He has sympathy, empathy. He tried his best, but she knew inside it wasn't really that. She just has him running in circles to please her. Golden retriever husband, friend zoning him, and he's trying desperately to be desired. Do you know how humiliating that is? Do you know how, if it happened to you as a woman and your husband was like, well, can you like dress like this porn star or this Instagram model or this OF chick, or could you hide your stomach when we do this? Could you do these tricks? Like, I'm just not feeling it. I just don't, women before, they just did something better for me. Or, I just feel, if they came up with that, women would be devastated. And they would if a woman came out publicly that her husband was saying all that to her, that man would be crucified publicly. Every woman would shame him, even some men, pastors and counselors, everyone would come against that man. But when it's a woman, it's just accepted that this is what happens. It's so widespread. It's so normalized. It's so normal in marriage now for a woman to treat her husband this way. There's no problem with it. It's supposed to be a natural occurrence. And women wonder why men do not want to get married. Blame married women who have their husbands friend zoned and trapped in a sexless marriage. Men are talking to each other. Men see what's happening to their friends, their family members, or their own experience, and they realize, I'm not doing it. I will not get trapped in something like that. You wonder where all the good men gone. The good men are right there. They just do not want to be around. They just don't want these worthless Western women who are so narcissistic and selfish. They don't care how they hurt a man. He should just be able to take it. Do you know most men don't get compliments? They don't get sex. They don't get validation from anyone. And then when they actually get married, it's expected they're going to get it from their wife. But then even then, they're not given it. And they wonder why their husband's angry or frustrated. He's not motivated to do anything in the house or spend time with you or take you on a date. Why? Because he knows it's all going to lead to nothing. He wants sex, but you refuse to give it to him. And we haven't even gotten into women who just don't take care of themselves. They gain weight. They don't care, what their looks are. They will go out their way to look good, dress up, treat with respect men in the street that they will not give their husband at home. And then women wonder why things are falling apart. And every woman, including myself, I am a married woman, my husband, I have to 100% take accountability. I need women like this to keep me accountable as a woman. This is where we used to have the villages and women would be with each other and talk about these things. And the older women would teach the younger women and chastise them and show them what was the right way. Now, I'll tell you what, one thing and this is why I love TikTok. I love TikTok. And I love the compilation videos of women who've gotten divorced or older women and they've left their husband unhappy. And then they're back in the streets and they're getting all the sex they want. They're going to get ran through by all the men in the streets, but no one will treat them with the love, respect, kindness, loyalty, duty, and honor that their husband did.
Fact.
And a lot of them are regretting it, but their pride, their narcissism won't let them admit they made a mistake. It was better when I was married, and they could see the wrong that they did. When they get divorced, they're ready to give it. They can't give it away enough because that's all they're useful for. You're older, you're more used up, you're jaded, you're divorced. Most likely you left your husband without cause. Other men see this and they don't want you. They're not going to be Prince Charming. Your best option is the man that actually married you and wanted you and loved you and treated you with duty, honor, and respect. But again, women don't want duty, honor, and respect. They say that, they virtue signal that while they're single and they want to get married. But once they get it, they reject it. They have disdain for it. And they want to be treated like trash. They want to be ran through. They want to have all these 50 shades of gray, body counts going up through the roof because then they'll be happy and fulfilled. But most of these women are finding out it's lonely, it's sad, they're dejected, they're rejected, and they're nothing but a skeet and skirt. They're nothing but a skeet receptacle for the men out here in the streets. It's lonely in the streets. So I think a lot of these women need to learn their lessons. Fellas, let them go.
And it's just this, it's this total crazy making for good men. And so here's what good men need to know. And then we're going to get into the 5 top reasons why this happens. But the switch is a really, really important foundation to know that switch has gone off. And so what good men need to know is that if your wife's switch is off, there is nothing you can do to turn that switch back on for your wife. I had to own and teach other women to see this is our problem. It's our problem that the switch went off. It's our problem that we've disengaged. Our good man, the man we married, is still the same good man. He didn't change. We got what we wanted. We turned the switch off. So good men, don't be fooled by the bad advice out there that there's something you're doing wrong and that this is your fault and there's something that you need to be doing differently to turn her switch back on. No, because her switch was on when you met and you were still the same good man. So this is, in a good way, this is your wife's.
Bro, because you loyal, honorable, and stand on principle, they bought into the exemption, bro. You not exempt, bro. You not exempt, bro. Shit could go down. Niggas divorce nowadays, bro. It's not like the old days where divorce is not a thing. No. What? Niggas divorce, bro. On God.
Problem to solve. And women, we need to.
Niggas cheat, bro. Niggas cheat, bro.
No, this is our problem to solve. And in everything I teach and everything I'm teaching today, this isn't to make us wrong and bad as women. It's to look in the mirror and to start to take accountability and responsibility and empower ourselves to change. Because ladies, you need to know, as long as you think it's your husband and he's the problem with sex and he needs to do things differently, you're stuck in victim and it's never, ever going to change no matter what he does.
So guys, I thought this was an excellent video. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think about this. I mean, she's really holding women accountable. Also, you know, telling her accountability story. And any good woman out here will want to receive this information, will want to hear this, will want this type of accountability. But sadly, we live in a society where these voices are few and far between. Women would rather be coddled. They'd rather be in the sisterhood echo chamber that coddles their feelings and tells them that it's all men. Men are the problem. And every article, therapist, mainstream media, mainstream news, TikTok, all of these things reconfirm to women that what they feel is valid and what their husband is and what he's doing and who he is not enough. And it is his fault. And he needs to be understanding. Women aren't supposed to be understanding towards men. It's only supposed to go one side. And if he's not understanding, then something's wrong with him. He just wants sex. Why does he want that? But they have no problem beginning a relationship like this. So guys, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your experience is with this. And also, guys, start leaving me comments on videos that you want me to do a reaction to. Please leave the actual title and the channel name that relates to these type of topics that you want me to cover, and I'll make sure I do it. So make sure to subscribe. And also, I'll be having more videos that are only available to my members. Videos that will get demonetized if I do them on here. And so if you want to get special access to those type of videos that I'll be putting out more and more, I have some videos up there now. Make sure that you become a member of my channel. I really appreciate it. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Hey, listen. Like, bro, right? Like, bro. 100K likes, 100K subs. Don't be weird. Don't be weird, bro. Catch y'all in the next one.